15 Things You Didn't Know About Joaquin Phoenix. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Hello, Aluxers. With award seasons, you might hear lots of names being thrown around, but behind the big names of Hollywood A-listers are some even bigger stories. Today, we get to the bottom of an actor with more skeletons in his closet than space. There are few Hollywood actors with such an interesting, checkered, and complex past as Joaquin Phoenix. Today, we're looking behind the curtain of his life with the 15 facts you didn't know about Joaquin Phoenix. Number 1. He's from a large family with even bigger ambition. Joaquin Phoenix was born in 1974 in San Juan, Puerto Rico. He was the middle child of 5 talented children born to John Lee and Arlen. They were an artistic couple and encouraged performance arts in their children. They didn't have a typical upbringing, spending his early childhood traveling through Central and South America. Joaquin Phoenix only spent 3 years in his birthplace of San Juan before the family up and moved. Number 2. He was born into a cult. The reason that Joaquin Phoenix's family were in South America is because of his parents' decision to follow the Christian religion called the Children of God. The Children of God had set up a church commune in Venezuela, and the family decided to move there and become fully immersed in the church's teachings. Joaquin explained in an interview with Playboy magazine, "I think my parents thought they found a community that shared their ideals. But cults rarely advertise themselves as such. The truth was, the Children of God was a cult. As soon as they realized this, his parents got them all out of there and returned to the US. Number 3. His new life came with a new name. Having just come out of the Children of God cult, his parents decided it was time to change their family name. They weren't born with the Hollywood-ready surname of Phoenix. They were born with the family name Bottom. Upon leaving the cult, they renamed themselves Phoenix, and like a bird from the ashes, they rose. Joaquin Phoenix's first name was also changed. His siblings had names referring to nature, like rain, river, or summer. Joaquin was so difficult for Americans to pronounce, so he changed his name to Leaf. Leaf Phoenix appears on his film credits until the age of 16 when he reverted back to Joaquin. Number 4. His brother was a legend. His older brother, River Phoenix, was a heartthrob on and off the screen in the 80s and 90s, but River's past wasn't all lights, camera, action. He had experienced sexual abuse at the hands of the Children of God cult at the age of just 4 years old. It was River that coached and mentored Joaquin through his early career. River encouraged him back onto the screen at 16 after he'd taken a break from acting. River relentlessly made him watch rerun after rerun of the film Raging Bull until Joaquin agreed to audition again. The speed of River's ascent into fame ended in sudden tragedy, and Joaquin would try to save his brother's life. The scene unfortunately played out very publicly. Keep watching to find out how it affected Joaquin. Number 5. He sang for his supper until he made a big break. The Phoenix siblings were discovered in one of those chance happenings which make you wonder if being famous is just in their stars. The Phoenix parents set the kids up on a sidewalk in LA to busk for their dinner, and the stars collided with Iris Burton, an entertainment agent who is taken with the children's natural talent and screen-ready looks. That night, they got more than tofu for dinner because she signed them on the spot. In the early 1980s, Joaquin Phoenix starred in a TV movie called Backwards, The Riddle of Dyslexia, alongside his brother River. In 1986, at 12 years old, he got his first major movie role in Harry Weiner's Space Camp. In the space adventure film, he played Max, a 10-year-old who goes to space. Then in 1986, Joaquin was featured in the film Parenthood alongside Steve Martin. His performance left an impression, and the role won young Phoenix his first acting award for Best Leading Actor in a feature film. Number 6. His unique facial scar is more common than you think. Many people assume that Joaquin Phoenix's signature scar above his lip is from surgical correction of a cleft palate, but it isn't. When asked about it in interviews, he explains that during pregnancy, his mother experienced extreme pain, and he feels that his scar is somehow linked to this time and his development. However, it's more likely a common condition known as microform cleft, a very mild form of cleft lip. It can vary from a small dent in the red of the lip or form a small dent from the upper lip toward the nose that could resemble a scar. The condition is fairly common, with 1 in every 600 children in the US being born with a cleft lip or a palate defect. Number 7. The film that got him noticed starred another Hollywood heavy hitter. We've spoken about Joaquin Phoenix's childhood and early career, but it's time to talk about his real breakout role. In 1995, he was cast in the Gus Van Sant film To Die For. His co-star was Nicole Kidman, playing the lead of Suzanne Stone, who seduces young Jimmy, played by Phoenix. In the film, she convinces him to commit a murder for her. The film did well at the box office and had rave reviews for Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal and put him in a league of rising talent to watch. Number 8. Animals were never a part of his diet. The Phoenix kids were all raised as vegans, and Joaquin adopted the vegan lifestyle fully in his adult life. He's a vocal animal activist and an outspoken vegan who works with various organizations that protect the rights of animals and raise awareness about animal abuse. While filming box office hits like Gladiator and Walk the Line, Joaquin Phoenix struggled with the period-appropriate costumes made from animal products. Number 9. He becomes the character when taking on a role. Joaquin Phoenix spends a lot of time ahead of a role preparing and becoming the character he's going to play. His research can be really stretching and literally putting him in the line of fire. For the film Ladder 49, he spent a month working at a fire department. He immersed himself in the work and culture of the firemen, and it's this kind of research that brings his characters to life. During his film Master, he played the character of a traumatized war veteran. He had his jaw wired shut with brackets and elastics so he could maintain the character's telltale sneer throughout filming. And during the entire filming of Walk the Line, he asked everyone to refer to him as JR, Johnny Cash's real name. For both his role as Jesus in Mary Magdalene and as the Joker, he had to lose an incredible amount of weight. To portray Jesus, he went on a diet of 300 calories a day and appeared in the role looking nearly emaciated. Number 10. He's worth his weight in gold. And we're not only talking about the awards his performances rake in. Joaquin is estimated to be worth $35 million. Judging by the box office takings of $1 billion for The Joker, we are sure Hollywood studios see his value as much higher. For his role in The Joker, he received only $4.5 million, although it's thought he received a percentage of the profits on the film. And if finding out how celebrities spend their fortunes is your thing, don't miss out on Alux's 15 Crazy Expensive Things video series for all your favorite celebrity spending sprees. But today we're talking about Joaquin Phoenix, so what does he do with all his cash? He's gone on record saying, "I don't need a private plane or a palazzo in Venice, so I'm not sure what else to do except to help my family and friends once in a while if they need it." He added, "I don't even like to think about money. I've always felt it corrupts people." Number 11. He was with River when he died. In 1993, when Joaquin Phoenix was only 19 years old, he witnessed his brother, River, die. The two were together with their sister Rain outside the Viper Room, a famous hangout in Los Angeles. River began to convulse, and Joaquin called 911. Unfortunately, it was too late. At 23 years old, River Phoenix passed away of a drug overdose. Joaquin admitted that the death of River took him a long time to get over. His 911 call was publicly broadcast all over the media, and after this, he retreated from the public eye for quite some time. Number 12. Showtime nerves get the better of him. Joaquin Phoenix has been in showbiz since he was a toddler, so you would think that years of exposure would mean being on sets made him feel at home. However, he suffers from anxiety every time he prepares for a new film. His nerves during filming are so great, he has to wear special pads under his armpits to soak up his sweat. Number 13. He checked himself into rehab, and it wasn't what he was expecting. Phoenix doesn't have a problem calling out his weaknesses. When he was 30 in 2005, he checked himself into rehab. He admits he thought it was all about eating fruit salad and sitting in hot tubs, but he submitted to the regimen and dealt with his alcohol abuse problems head-on. He later admitted he was glad for the change. "I was being an idiot, running around, drinking, trying to screw people, going to stupid clubs." but the fact he's able to directly face his issues and do something about it says quite a lot. Number 14. His early retirement plans didn't pan out. After 2 Oscar nominations and a steady box office hit career, Joaquin Phoenix announced his retirement in 2008. It seemed a bit premature to most, but what followed next was even more bizarre. Phoenix followed his announcement with the explanation he was retiring from acting to follow his true passion and calling as a hip-hop musician. The news and his press tour were met with hilarious reactions, spoofs, and even more vines than you can think of. He ran amok, refusing to remove his dark glasses during a David Letterman interview. He let the hair on his head and his face grow out into a matted, unkempt mess and put on weight. The whole wild season ended in Phoenix rapping at a show in Vegas. During the show, he jumped off stage and attacked a heckler that was criticizing his skill. It turned out the whole weird and wonderful season was a hoax and a part of a mockumentary project directed by Casey Affleck. The film I'm Still Here was released in 2011. The strange and macabre take on Phoenix playing a fictional character called Joaquin Phoenix wasn't entirely well received, and watching it is pretty awkward. It did leave a lot of questions about where the character ends and the man begins. Number 15. Acting isn't his only talent. When Joaquin Phoenix played Johnny Cash in Walk the Line, he also sang the soundtrack of Johnny Cash songs. Johnny Cash himself was involved in the casting, and Mr. Cash was right on the money when he picked Joaquin Phoenix, because the role earned Phoenix a Grammy and an Oscar nomination. And that's a wrap, Aluxers. 15 things you didn't know about Joaquin Phoenix. Before you go, we're curious. In 2020, Joaquin Phoenix finally took home an Oscar for his role as the Joker. But what did you think of his acceptance speech? Do you think the awards podium is a place for this kind of political message, or should actors stick to their lines? Let us know what you think in the comments. And of course, for sticking with us until the end, here's your bonus. With a Grammy, 2 Golden Globe Awards, 4 Oscar nominations, and a win, you'd think that winning means a lot to Joaquin Phoenix. But it turns out the actor has very strong ideas about award shows, and he isn't afraid to share them. He said, "It's totally subjective. Pitting people against each other, it's the stupidest thing in the world." It seems like all the hoopla of award season is lost on the Oscar winner. The good news is, he's not going to waste too much time polishing his trophy and can get right back to starring in more great films.